Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about a couple of comments that I've gotten on my recent videos about porn, and a specific argument that emerges as to why porn isn't harmless is that it should be okay to sit in the privacy of your own home or even in the privacy of your own mind and fantasize or for example watch porn. So a comment that I got was from a person saying on YouTube, "I can't help but wonder, what is it to you if one prefers to isolate oneself with an addiction to masturbation that has nothing to do with sexuality?" Because I said that porn doesn't have anything to do with sexuality. So as long as they don't go out and perpetrate sexual crimes on others. Now, today I watched a really cool film about porn that I'll put in the description box below that very accurately shows how porn users are participating in creating the abuse that is taking place through and within porn. Because something that is interesting is that as viewers, not only as porn, but in general as viewers, as observers, as bystanders to reality, we tend to say that I'm just looking at it. I haven't done anything wrong, I'm just watching it. How can you say that I am an abuser when I didn't create it? I didn't ask the girl to get down on her hands and knees to be fucked by a lot of guys. It was her choice. I'm just watching it. The porn already exists. However, if you are to ask a porn producer or a porn company, and I mean, you can go on and find all this on the internet, they will say that they're creating porn. And here, just remember here that we're talking about hardcore, brutal, humiliating porn, which is becoming increasingly more popular and frequent. There is virtually no, I mean, we're not talking about the soft porn that you would see in movies, and for the older generation that might not be as familiar with internet porn, they might have an image of porn as simply being people having sex. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the genre of porn that is called gonzo porn and the newer forms of porn that specifically focuses on degradation, humiliation, and physical abuse. Okay, so if you ask a porn producer, even a porn producer that produces this hardcore porn, they will say that they're doing it because there is a demand. They're producing this porn because they have seen the trend moving in the direction of the viewers wanting more and more hardcore porn. What this means is that porn producers that previously would have made these feature and soft porn movies, they can't anymore support themselves or sustain themselves as corporations or as companies because people aren't interested in buying that kind of porn anymore. So as you can see, it is an interdependent cycle that happens. The porn producers blame the viewers, and the viewers blame the porn producers. And within all of this are the people who make the porn. And primarily the people exposed to the abuse are women. And as such, you as a porn user are an active participant in the abuse of these women. Simply go and I mean, if you don't believe me, please go and watch the video that I'm going to place here in the description box, because it shows it very clearly how this cycle exists like a snake eating its own tail. So when you watch porn, it's not simply something that you're doing freely in the privacy of your own home that has absolutely no influence on anyone else, because someone had to produce that porn for you to watch, even if it's free. And even if you're watching it for free, someone out there is making money out of it on advertisements or other forms of profit generation that you might not be aware of. So, I mean, it is sad to say, but yes, you are an abuser. And realize also within this that this is not to shame or blame people that watch porn, because we are many people. Many people have been there. Many people are there. Many people know how difficult it is to stop a porn addiction once it is launched. Often with a lot of support and help by the porn producers and even by the mainstream media, where sex is I mean, we live in a hypersexualized society at the moment, so it's like it's virtually impossible to avoid being caught in the porn net. As a person, you would have to have a really cool upbringing and education and understanding of your own body and of sexuality to be able to understand why it's not cool to watch porn and why there are other alternatives. But who gets that? No one gets that. And what is even more frightening is that the majority of porn users are between 11 and 18 years old. And that means that young boys and girls are introduced to this extremely hardcore porn when they're children, when they're young. And that becomes their introduction to sex because there is no alternative. No one talks to them about it, which is what is so absurd about this entire point, is that porn and sex is a taboo to talk about. It is considered private and intimate, yet it has penetrated our entire reality. It is everywhere. Everyone is obsessed and preoccupied with it, yet it is still a taboo. And this contradiction, this problem is what is causing it's a part of causing the problem of porn, and why porn is a problem, because it's difficult to talk about. It's difficult to admit, it's difficult to open up about. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, the problem is also that everyone speaking against porn are being often very judgmental and are saying equally violent things about porn users as is actually being said to women in these movies. So what I would suggest, if you are a porn user, and however you might react or respond to what I'm saying here, is to have a look at the movie that I'll place in the description box. Watch it all the way through. See if you still have the same perspective. And then, if you dare, look at the reasons you're giving yourself for watching porn. Look at the justifications. Look at the excuses and take them all the way through. I mean, take them through in terms of asking yourself, is this real? For example, these women are choosing to do it. I haven't done anything. I'm just sitting here watching. It's not my problem. All of these thoughts that comes up in relation to watching porn are very deliberate. See, we only go to such an effort to defend something when we know it's a lie, right? I mean, if we stood by in our integrity as human beings by porn, and porn is awesome and it liberates my sexuality and it makes me more capable of opening up with other people, we wouldn't have to defend it. We wouldn't have to go on YouTube and write comment upon comment. We wouldn't have to hide it. We wouldn't keep it secret if we were perfectly okay with it. So this is an important point to realize, guys and girls, that you aren't okay with it. No one is okay with it. We know that what we're doing is essentially unacceptable and is contributing to abuse. And the only reasons why we will still come up with all these justifications and excuses is because we want to hold on to it, because it feels good. It is really that simple. It feels good. There are so many things in this world that feel good, but that we know aren't good for us. And that's why it's an addiction. You know, an addiction is when you take too much of something that you don't really physically need, and it becomes self-abusive and abusive towards others, and it can destroy your life. So don't isolate yourself any further. We have a blog available where people are sharing their experiences. There's going to be a hangout tonight, a live hangout, where we're going to talk about porn and how one can support oneself to stop the porn addiction. There's a forum available where you can share yourself, not necessarily your innermost secrets, but simply come and ask for support, share your perspectives. There's a Facebook page where we're posting daily news, blogs, videos about porn. I mean, it's time we bring it out into the open, and that you could even, if you're still, after hearing all this and watching the video, if you're still saying that porn is cool, then show it. Then make sure that you prove it to yourself. Make sure that you really truly stand by it and that it is cool. Investigate it in depth. Who is the people that make the porn? Who's making money from it? How is it created? Because otherwise, how can you say that you fully stand by it if you don't actually know what it does to your body, what it does to your mind, and how it is created? So time to bring the point of porn out of the taboo, out of the shame, and into the light where we can actually discuss it and find out what it's doing to us, what it's doing to our children, and what alternatives there exist. Thank you very much.